Hi, sweetheart. I know the kids have worked really hard on your project and your mom's, and I just think it's a testament to what a great mom you are. So happy Mother's Day. I love you.
Happy Mother's Day! I am ready to answer a couple of questions about the coolest mommy in the world. That's you.
Hello and happy Mother's Day. I'm here to answer some questions about why I love you and why you're the best mom ever.
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. So today I'm going to answer a few questions about why I love you so much.
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. Today I'm going to answer questions about why I love you and why you're the best.
Okay, a memory I have with mommy that sticks out in my mind is the first thing that I thought of when we talked about what questions we wanted to answer about you today. And I thought of a lot of other memories, but this one just kept coming back to me as the one that will stick with me forever. It was when our family was reunited in Italy for the first time in a while, and you and Daddy and Grandma came to meet Oliver for the first time. We met at the train tracks in Cinque Terre, and I was there a little bit early waiting for you guys, and I was just walking back and forth of the train tracks. I was so eager to see you and for you to meet Oliver for the first time. He was 3 months old, and you guys came off the train, and I felt so much happiness, and I was so excited because you were about to meet your grandson for the first time. And um, when I gave him to you, you were so happy. It was like your joy was just radiating from you. Um, and it was just a really, really special moment and something a little unconventional how people usually meet their grandchildren. So I'll always treasure that moment and be so thankful that you guys traveled all the way across the world to meet him and to spend some time with us.
The first question is a memory that I have with you, and I first thought of that weekend a couple of years ago when we all met in Gatlinburg. We talk about that a lot, but that was just a special memory because we were all at such busy times in our life, but we all came from out of town. I came from Chattanooga, you came from Kentucky, and we met the rest of the family from home, and we just spent like 3-4 days hanging out at the Sugar Shack. No work, no school, listening to Queen, sitting in the hot tub, drinking root beer, and doing a couple of tough hikes. But that was just such a fun memory that I will always remember for sure. Another one I thought of was, I guess it was last year whenever we celebrated National Taco Day and we went to those 2 different taco shops back to back. I just think that was really fun, and I'll always remember that one.
And when this question came along, I was like, what's my memory? And the first one that I really thought of was very like a vivid memory I have with you and me. And this happened a lot, but this was one specific time. And we were driving on South Green Hill Road. I was probably like 8 or something like that. And you asked me what my favorite song was. And at this time, my favorite song was You Maybe Baby Are Stuck Like Glue. Why I love this song, I have no idea. Probably because of you. And you would always sing it with like, You and me, baby, are stuck like glue. And you would always sing it so weird and wacky. And you would always, always, always tell me. And you said it this time, you're like, sing it, buddy. And you would always say that to me. And so that's one memory I really do have with you.
One memory is just every time we drove to meets, the song Never Gonna Let You Down always came on. It was just so weird that every time we were driving to a meet, it would always come on the radio. That was kind of weird, but it always came on. A second memory is kind of like my first memory I think I might have of you. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of vivid too. I don't remember much, but It was just whenever you were about to get your car washed, and I just remember losing my tooth, and we put it in your wallet. I don't know why I remember that, but it's probably one of my first memories I have with you.
This one was an easy one for sure. Something that always makes me think about you is country music in general, but especially 90s country. Anytime Garth Brooks comes on, or Shania Twain, or the Judds, I am just instantly taken back to my childhood with you in the car, or cleaning the apartment, or just anytime that there was music on, it was a lot of times that, or Phantom of the Opera. No, not Phantom of the Opera. I think it was Les Mis. I remember that. But definitely 90s country music takes me back. I remember I was really young and we were driving in Henderson. I'm not sure what car we were in, but we were driving around listening to the Judds. I was so young. I think that's one of my first memories, actually. And you had such an influence on my love for music. And I just, every single time I hear any type of early 90s country, or even some late 80s, I always think of you.
Definitely when I have popcorn for dinner, which doesn't happen often, but it always makes me think of you. Fresh peaches for sure, especially when there's a fresh peach stand on the side of the road. That always makes me think of you. This Kiss by Faith Hill for sure. And I Love You in Sign Language. Those always make me think of you.
There's several things that remind me of you, but one strong one is anytime I'm driving down the road and I see a breast cancer survivor license plate, or I'm in school and I see somebody with the shirt on that's just wearing like a breast cancer t-shirt, or somebody out in public wearing a survivor shirt, I always think of you. And you're my person who survived breast cancer. You're my mom, the one who fought it and won. And that's one thing that every time I just like, that person's a survivor like my mom.
Something that makes me think of you is obviously the beach, just because you love the beach so much. And then I'd also say ice cream. You're always eating ice cream. We always have ice cream in our fridge. Not complaining, but I always think of you and I eat it.
Something I love about my mom is she is so thoughtful. You made so many moments for me growing up very special. You made all of the holidays very, very special with all of your sweet gestures and loving notes. You always would leave us notes in our lunch boxes. There was never a time where I doubted how much you loved me, and that by definition is a great mother to me. So I really value that and treasure that and try to implement the sweet little things into my family every day.
The biggest thing is that you've always just been really supportive of whatever I wanted to do, even if it was something little like making jewelry and selling it at a craft show, or that time I wanted to have tacos every night for a week. You were always really supportive of that. And then big things like wanting to move to Utah when I didn't know anybody and I'd never stepped foot in the state. You've always been really supportive of just kind of the small and the big dreams that I've had. So I'm really, really thankful for that for sure. So thank you.
One thing that I love about you is how caring you are and how nurturing you are. You always are just you are so naturally caring. And you would always, when I was younger and I used to have my headaches really bad, you would walk in the door and you would look at me and you would say, "Do you have a headache?" I'd be like, "Mm-hmm." And you would drop everything. You'd be like, "Do you need some medicine? Do you need some water? Do you need to lay down? Do you need a nap?" When it was time for me to go to bed, you would offer to make my heat wrap. Sometimes you would come and lay with me and would just rub my temples to make my head feel better, which really did make it feel better. And so just things like that. You always just went the extra mile to make sure that I was perfectly okay and that I felt loved. And so you were always caring for me in every way you could.
I love how you always just do small acts of kindness for us, like just writing us a letter, or I don't know, just something small to make sure that we always have a good day and, you know, make us feel happy and loved. I love that you do this because now I feel like I do it. I love writing letters, and then I love when people leave me letters. So I love how you did that and how I do that now, passed on to me.
Something that I will always remember about you is your devotion to our family and to your work. I admire you so much more and appreciate you so much more now that as a mom myself now, of how you were able to balance a successful career and still maintain a home. I think that is a lot harder than I ever could have understood when I was younger. And I read recently something that really resonated with me that said the mother is the heart of the family and the family is the bedrock to society. And you really were that for our family. You gave every ounce of your energy and time and focus to work, and then you came home and did the same thing at home. And like I said earlier in my memory, you still were able to make sure that we all knew how much we were loved and we were all taken care of. And that is really, really, really special. And I admire you so much for being able to juggle so many things at one time. And thank you so much for being the heart of our family. I have learned so much about being a mother from you, and I value you and love you so much.
I think Amanda mentioned this, but I completely agree that you always were really good at celebrating like everyday things and making every day really special. So, I mean, birthdays growing up have always been the best because we knew we got to have our special meal and that we got a special themed birthday cake made by you by hand. But things like Valentine's Day and Christmas, just all of the holidays were really special. And I think that's something that I, even now, have continued because I just really like to celebrate those little days. Another thing that I think you've taught me is just, like, it's kind of funny how similar our lines of work are. Do lots of crafts and sing lots of funny songs at work. So every time I do something a little bit creative when it comes to work and like hanging out with kids, I think of you and think, oh, that's why I am the way I am, because you've always been very creative at work and are really passionate and dedicated to your work. So I think that's something that I've always admired about you and something that I've continued in my own line of work.
Is to never give up. You, like I said, you fought cancer and you never gave up one time. And you taught me never to give up. I remember in 6th grade, whenever I had to do Study Island for English, and it was extra credit. And there was one assignment, I think it was punctuation or something. And I think we took it at least 30 times. We took it 30 times. And every time, you're like, one more, we gotta get your grade up, one more. And we just kept going, and we just kept going, and we just kept going, and we did not quit until I got a grade that I was satisfied with, which ended up wouldn't be possible because I failed it so many times that not 100 100s would bring that grade up. But you kept ensuring that I would not quit on something else in schoolwork. You always wanted to see me succeed, so you always told me, just keep going, don't give up now. And I will always remember that, and I'll never give up because of your lessons that you've taught me.
Something I'll always remember about you, or that you taught me, was something you taught me is, I feel like I've started to bake a lot because I think it's kind of fun. And when I first made chocolate chip cookies, you told me all of your baking tips. Don't over bake the cookies, and I don't know, just your ways. Or whenever I was baking cake for the first time and how to decorate it. Another thing is, this is kind of a memory, but it was when we were younger and you would just be laying on the couch and we would always remember when we used to sit in your basket, between your knees. I don't know why I remember that, but I was thinking about it and I thought that was so funny because, I don't know, we just sat in your basket like your little birds.
Happy Mother's Day.
I hope you have the best day. I wish we could all celebrate together with brunch on the new deck, but maybe next year. Have a good day. Love you.
I love you.
But happy Mother's Day. All of you.